Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, an activist, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient with a bachelor's degree in information technology software engineering. CJ is the executive producer for the Adam vs. the Man podcast with Adam Kokesh, and the CEO of Internet Warlords, the War for the Internet, as well as a former 2018 South Dakota Libertarian gubernatorial candidate, and a 2020 South Dakota delegate to the Libertarian National Convention. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a great day or don't. The choice is always yours.
How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you yes, you hear me? Can't really continue this foray into talking shit until I know and can confirm that my vocal cords produce the sound that goes through the microphone, that goes through your speaker, into your ears, into your brain noodle. From my brain noodle to yours. Yes, you can hear me. Perfect. I don't know how good this microphone is, though. This is the microphone off the webcam. So I figured it can't be the worst web microphone in the world. But it is a microphone nonetheless. So, I don't know why this mic doesn't want to work. I mean, it's a pretty decent mic, all, reviewed and everything, but maybe I just need to get a new one and just live with it. So, oh shit, I also think I forgot the link for today's broadcast, didn't I? Oh, that wouldn't be good, now would it? Oh, nope, it is there. Awesome, perfect. If anybody wants to join the broadcast today, you're more than welcome. I was talking a lot of mad shit in that last video before when the microphone was down there, but I don't even know what this microphone sounds like, to be perfectly honest. But again, if anybody'd like to join, there is a link in the description. You're welcome to take over. It's another slow fucking news day. It makes me feel like we're on the verge of some really bad news. Normally, when it gets to when it comes to a Monday, you'd think there's a bunch of shit to talk over the weekend. But there's not. I mean, in all honesty. Government's still doing government shit. Statists are still going to state. And, just nothing really to add to it. I almost didn't want to go live this morning to begin with. But it's Monday. It's Mental Health Monday. I figured I'd just talk it out today. And I tell you, there's a part of me that enjoys the trolling aspect of being a libertarian when it comes to pedophiles and perverts and politicians, because the first off, 99, I'm going to say, okay, I don't want to put a percentage on it, but I'm going to say the vast majority of people loathe and despise pedophilia. But why do people keep voting for it? I don't understand it. So when I see somebody voting for, now I promise you there's a point to this. There was a guy was on my friends list who openly says that he's voting for Joe Biden. And I was like, whoa, holy shit. There's at least one who's like, yeah, I see he sniffs kids and all. But I'm going to vote for him. Like, what the fuck? And so I said, oh, okay, I didn't know you're pro-pedophilia. Okay, it's interesting to know. And good to know. So that way I can, keep you away from my kids. And so he comes back with the classic, well, you support a guy that raped a 13-year-old, referring to Donald J. Trump. Now, whoa! All right, buddy. All right. I'm not voting for Donald Trump. I'm not voting for Joe Biden. I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen. But I do like the fact that you sat there and said that Donald Trump raped a 13-year-old. Now that I'm going to sit there and go, okay, hold on. Is this the new Democrat talking point that's going to be coming out? This new flashy thing? You're getting some word from down yonder from your blue check marks that this is what's coming down the pipe? I mean, honestly. So you mistake me for a Trumpophile when you're a pedocrat, and I love it. Good morning, Mercedes. I love being mistaken by you because it goes to show you're retarded. It goes to show that you don't do your research. So I was just amazed. And yes, if Donald Trump raped a 13-year-old girl, and that's something that the liberal agenda is going to push here soon, then all I'm going to say is I called it. I called it. They're both going to call each other pedophiles by the end of October going into November. So why would anybody continue to vote for this shit? Why? I don't understand it. I sit here every day and go, hey, there's a link in the description here. If you're a Trumpophile, if you're a pedocrat, and you're going to vote for these two sick perverts, come tell me why. Defend your boy. Defend your vote. It shouldn't be this easy for me to sit here and call your candidate a pedophile and you to just not say something. Because I promise you, the comment thread doesn't do any justice. I promise you, the comment thread, I just laugh. But at least here, I'm giving you half up to 100% of my screen to explain your logic. But you hide. And I encourage you, the viewer, if you know a die-hard Trumpophile, if you know a die-hard pedocrat, please encourage them to come talk to me. Defend their vote. Please. Defend it without using the old logic. If I don't vote for A, B is going to win. But like I said, both parties by the end of October are going to be publicly accusing the other side of pedophilia. It's what's going to happen. I mean, you can see it 2-3 months in advance. It's a very wide open playbook, open to the public. And I, like I said, my bold prediction is that Ghislaine Maxwell, or as I like to call her, Ghislaine Maxwell, most likely has information on Donald J. Trump, as he was a John. I don't think that, and again, I'm not going to say that Donald Trump is the head of some child sex trafficking ring. That one I'm going to go let's go farther and say, nah, I don't. I'm not going to entertain that he's the mastermind behind it. No. Now, could he be a John? That's the real question. And I think the media and headlines is setting us up for this because they've said in previous articles, and I've showed it on here, that Ghislaine Maxwell recorded Johns. So, was he a John? I don't know. It makes you wonder. It really does. Now, wouldn't it just be nice to not have a president with this cloud over their head? Wouldn't it? You would think that it would be something that we could all like. I don't like waking up to this. I really don't. There's zero news. People are in my comment thread going, "Hey, you're supporting a guy that raped a 13-year-old," and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on in this world?" What do you mean? Well, you're voting for Trump. No, I'm not. But I'm more interested in hearing why you're saying he raped a 13-year-old. Where's your sources? Like, I want to see it. I want to see where it's coming from so we can piece all this shit together. You know what I'm saying? Make it educational. Educational. Either way, you know what I'm saying. Educational. Let's make it educational. So, I mean, like I said, it's just a sick, disgusting time in our political history to have to choose between the lesser of two pedophiles. Like, honestly, that's what they're going to make this come down to. Now, as most of you know, I have $100 deal going on right now that you watching right now, if you can find me one credible allegation of sexual impropriety from Dr. Joe Jorgensen, I will send you $100. The first person that can show me is a allegation, news story, a court case with sealed documents, and a flight log with names on, with Joe Jorgensen's name on it, and I will send you $100. So you see, my candidate doesn't have pedophilic allegations against her. Your candidate, on the other hand, you would much rather get mad at me, and this is the truth. You would much rather get mad at me for saying your candidate has pedophilic allegations, just for saying it, than actually go take a credible look at allegations. Instead, it's the mental gymnastics and the constant, listen, Donald J. Trump does not give a fuck about you. Yes, you, the one watching, does not care about you. Promise you. Not a day. You are expendable to Donald J. Trump, I assure you. So why do people keep defending it as if it's their honor, their integrity? Listen, if it came out tomorrow, I would hand somebody $100 and say, thanks for letting me know that Joe was out there sniffing kids or raping 13-year-olds. Thanks for letting me know. That $100 just saved me a lifelong time of having to regret my vote for Joe Jorgensen. Obviously, it's not going to happen. I mean, I sat here for like 4 hours looking at DuckDuckGo and Google, and I think I even used Bing. I was just trying to refine if there's anything. No, Geely, Donald J. Trump does not care about you at all. It's not just George Bush's Kanye West moment of Donald Trump does not care about black people. No, it's Donald Trump doesn't care about anybody but Donald Trump. I mean, you guys remember that video clip of Donald Trump playing catch with some kids out in the White House? You think that his sons were like, man, those are 3 more throws than we ever got, man. I don't know. I'd love to talk to one of the Donald Trump kids, you know? Eric or Donald. One of you two. Even Ivanka. I don't know. Who's the one that everyone forgets about? Tiffany. Barron, I'll leave Barron alone. Barron's a kid. Talking about adult children. Even if I raise my Trump flag higher from my trailer, yes, no matter how many Trumpophile flags you fly, no matter how much you play that Toby Keith song over and over and over again, yes, you know which one I'm talking about. Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about you. Donald Trump, honestly, man, does not give a fuck about any of us. We are expendable. It is all politic. Like I said, but am I the only one that sees it though? Honestly, am I the only one that sits here and drinks my coffee and looks at the headline, sees the writing on the wall. The lesser of two pedophiles. That's what the Democrats and Republicans are going to make this race about. Again, it comes down to, I don't care about the semantics of it. I get confused for a Trumpophile all the fucking time. That's fine. I mean, I will admit, in 2016, I fell for the duopoly think of, well, I better vote for the lesser of two evils or this country's fucked. I admit that. But at some point, that excuse gets challenged way too much. And eventually you just get tired of defending well, if I don't vote for A, B's going to win. And it's such an unintelligent conversation to have. At some point, you're like, well, okay, what else is out there? I agree with you. Biden should have been a choice. Why is the party that hates old white men and cops electing the old white man and a cop? Yes, real question. Tiffany says, no, it's so sad that it's now a thing that people have to Google to see if the person they are going to vote for is a pedo. That is sad, but that's what I'm talking about. And all right, I didn't spend like 5 hours Googling Joe Jorgensen. It only took, I'll say I went like, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Google. No allegations at all. But the fact that you have to, I'll agree, is a sad day in our politic history. But it's refreshing that I am voting for a candidate that has zero. Now, how many Trump cases of sexual impropriety are there? I think we Googled this last week. Donald Trump sexual assault cases. Why isn't it? Oh, damn it. Microphone ain't working for this one. Donald Trump sexual assault allegations. I know I spelt it all wrong. Okay, now you ready for this? Are you ready for this, America? All right, so we're going to do it like this first, okay? First, we're just going to say what comes up at the top of Google. Okay? Oh, safe search. What is safe search? I don't want safe search. Turn that shit off. How do I turn that shit off, damn it? Oh, man. Okay, well, either way, if the comments want to beat me to it, you're more than welcome. But Donald Trump, sexual assault allegations, at least 22 women. At least 22 women. And by the way, that's just off of Donald Trump's sexual assault allegations. Okay? Now let's go ahead and go with Joe Biden. Oh, look. Let's see. All the times Biden's been accused of behaving inappropriately. Even Wikipedia has a sexual assault allegations paragraph. A whole fucking paragraph. Okay. A whole paragraph just on Wikipedia. Okay? Now, let's be fair. All right? Let's just be fair. I mean, again, Joe Biden, and this was as of March. I mean, all right, so let's see here. Watch, it's going to be like, she's like a serial rapist. Let's see. Letter to the editor. Joe Biden's allegations. 22-year arrested for continuous sexual abuse of a minor. There's something that says Joe Jorgensen here. Should we see if this one is a credible allegation? We'll look that one up. No. I do kind of want to know what her net worth is. I'm kind of curious. Oh, look. Between 1 and 5 million. All right. Respectable. I mean, assets built over time and life. I mean, I'm not going to dog on her in that aspect. You know, I mean, shoot. All right. Fair enough. But again, see how I'm like, oh, well, I don't know if this is really credible. So let's just see how much she's worth. Like, that's refreshing. All right. Let's see here. Let me see here. Yeah, this is, wait, this is just her name was included in a comment thread. That's all that was. It has nothing to even do with her. Oh, so, like I said, pretty sure my $100 is safe. But why? Tiffany, you as well fell for the duopoly think vote. Now, think about it. If everybody had this aha moment, like, wait a minute, I don't have to vote for the lesser of two pedophiles. I mean, I don't. And the worst part is that this is such a small, like, portion of what Joe has different than the other two. If this shouldn't be the up front and center issue that we're focusing on. But it's such a fucking blaring fact. It's like the elephant in the room, and most libertarians are like, there's a fucking elephant in the room. And the Trumpophiles are like, don't look at the elephant in the room. The kid sniffers are like, don't look at the elephant in the room. Am I the only one? I can't be. Listen, I would like to think that most Trumpophiles and pedocrats out there would watch my video and go, CJ's a fucking idiot. And then I can sit here and respond back to that by saying, but I'm not voting for the pedophile. If you have to think to yourself and go, well, which pedophile, CJ, are you referring to? Well, that's probably a sign that you're not really voting for the right person now, is it? But CJ, my job, CJ, my economy. What about my economy? Don't you think we would have a better economy if we weren't giving trillions of dollars to the mega wealthy and the warmongering machine? Don't you think? I think so. I'd like to think that if we had every dime back that we spent in the Middle East and in every foreign country, if we had all that back, would we be going through an economic hardship? Would we be in such a debt that our great-grandchildren are going to have zero value in their property or their dollar to begin with? He's on track to be the best president ever, CJ. According to who? You? Some dumb fucking hick standing on the street with a fucking flag? I just don't get it. I wish that there was, like, I'm so welcoming a conversation. I want a Trumpophile to take up half my screen. So bad. I want you to wear the hat. I want the flag in the background. I want to hear it from your own mouth. I want to hear it from your own mouth. I want to hear you be confronted with the truth. I'm like begging you, please join my broadcast. Defend your Trumpophile or pedocrat vote. There's nobody that's going to join. They would much rather dismiss me and just say, oh, CJ did a fucking idiot, than to actually come forward and defend your vote. Instead, stay in your echo chamber. Stay in your echo chamber. It's healthy for you. It's better for your mental health. I don't lose sleep at all at night when it comes to my vote. And there are plenty of people that are going to fall for it, and they're going to fall so fucking hard. If you thought these 4 years of Trump was bad, you just wait until the next 4. You wait until the next bullshit comes up. Yes, Mercedes, it is called denial. It is the first stage in the stages of grief. That is a great, you know what? Mental Health Monday. Let's go with it. Stages of grief. All right. Well, okay. Though this one says there's 7 stages of grief. We'll go with that's 5 stages of grief in a divorce. Let's see here. I don't know. Maybe we can go with the 7 stages of grief for today. So, they are, let me get them here for you. I guess this is Boston Home Sports radio page. I don't know why. Shock and testing are the ones that are added to the 5 stages. Shock. Initial paralysis at hearing the bad news, as in your boy Donald Trump was filmed by Ghislaine Maxwell having sex with a minor. Oh my gosh, no fucking way. Followed by denial, trying to avoid the inevitable. As in, no way, that's a fake, that's a deep fake news. No way, no, not Trump, not my boy. Followed by anger. And normally anger that is frustrated outpouring a bottle up emotion. Normally in the anger stage, that's where anger's just flying. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. That's what it normally comes down to. Mad at other people for pointing out the truth. Followed by bargaining. Well, you know, he's still, you know, that economy is still pretty good. You know, I mean, look at it's better than, you know, it could have been, CJ, think about it. I mean, you know, where we would have been if it would have been Hillary and you know, but would you rather have had the bargaining of the questioning? Then followed by what is inevitable, depression, where you realize that I don't give a fuck what you're saying. I'm just going to revert you back to your boy Trump was most likely filmed by a child sex trafficker having sex with a minor. That's what the evidence is pointing to. If you look at what we call preponderance of evidence, which is a family court term, really, and again, preponderance of the evidence is saying that it's most likely Donald Trump was a John of an international child sex trafficking ring where the madam that was running these children filmed a lot of her high dollar clients. It's like putting the fucking writing on the wall. So we'll just bring you back to denial every time. Now listen, the testing on this. I mean, testing, seeking realistic solutions. Well, you know, I don't even know how I would incorporate testing into here, seeking realistic solutions. Maybe this is the part where you're like, you know what? I'm going to vote for somebody else. I'm going to vote for somebody else, and I'm going to test to see who is out there and who else is the other candidates. This might be the phase where you're like, yeah, I might vote for Mama Joe. I mean, maybe that's what that is. It's finding a way out of that, which then finally leads you to acceptance, finally finding a way forward. I don't know. Maybe testing maybe in that testing phase, you're like, I guess I don't really care. I don't know. And seeing how people react when you say you don't care about it. And then acceptance, finding a way forward, living with your vote, regardless, good or bad or indifferent, third vote or not. Those would be the 7 stages of grief when voting for a pedophile. You can do the same thing with Joe. You realize he's voting for kids. They go through that dismissal of it, and they still do. You know what's even more crazy to me? Am I the only one? Am I the only one that thinks this way? I can't be. I'd like to think there are millions of people out there that think like this, regardless of if my views reflect it. Again, my video watched views. I'd like to think that that's the mentality of millions of people out there. They're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to defend 22 sexual assault allegations that have, again, well, America knew. Oh, God, that's my other favorite Trumpophile comeback. America knew. Did they? Did they really know? Did they really know? Was it really informed consent? Was it? Because, again, more people didn't vote for Trump than did. I mean, if you really think about it. Well, he won the popular. No, he didn't. If not voting was a vote, neither one of those two perverts would be president. Nobody. Think about it. If not voting, which in the Libertarian Party is much of a vote as not voting for somebody, you have to beat none of the above. And none of the above even gets time for somebody to speak and say, don't vote for these fuck-ups. So, if not voting was a vote, Trump wouldn't win the Electoral College. Biden wouldn't win the Electoral College. Just saying. So, where does your mental health stand on this, though? Again, there is a link in the description. Even if you're a recovering Trumpophile, who, again, is somebody that voted for Trump. I understand you. I get the duopoly think. I want to hear from you. I want to know why you're still in that mentality. I have to think it deals with the community, echo chambers. You're going to go back to your Trump-looking Trumpophile, pedocrat, kid sniffer echo chamber, and you're going to feel that bonding of community. You're going to feel that sense that my opinion of your perverted presidential candidate is safe because other people are justifying your voting for said pedophile. So you feel safe in your vote because the people you really care about judging you are okay with it. So if they're okay with it, it's socially acceptable, then you're safe in your vote. That's the mentality. I'm trying to play the devil's advocate. Yes, and I would challenge anybody to try to say that 5 times fast. I would challenge anybody to put that mental brain thought together just once, not let alone saying it 5 times, Mr. Lee. But here we are, another Monday. And am I the only one that sees this shit? I can't be. I can't be the only one in America that sees this shit. Honestly, what is it going to take for people to wake up and realize this? I promise you, it doesn't matter because the mainstream media, we already know, is corrupt. We already know. I mean, raise your hand real quick to yourself if you're like, I trust the mainstream media. Oh, wait. Get down. Don't raise your hand. Get down. Who trusts the mainstream media? Like, honestly, like, who? You? I just don't understand. I will never understand. And I know there's people out there like CJ, just stop calling my boy Trump a pedophile. Stop calling my boy Joe a pedophile. It's not me. I'm the one returning it to you saying, hey guys, it's mutual now. The Democrats are calling your boy Trump a pedophile. Your guys are calling Joe a pedophile. This is the big fucking secret squirrel fucking news that come November, it's voting for the lesser of two pedophiles. That's what they're turning this vote into. You don't have to vote for the lesser of two pedophiles. You really don't. There is an alternative. There is another. And she is way better than your boys. Just go to joe20.com. Again, I know. Oh, look, they've updated the animations. They got tons of pictures. Look, she's not sniffing kids. Holy shit. She's not out there denying sexual abuse allegations. Holy fuck. She's out there talking about your freedom. At Freedom Feast, I had to say, could you imagine if Joe Biden was here and I had to be like, hey, Joe, don't go around my daughter, you sick fuck. No, Joe Biden, like the kid sniffer. But why do we keep doing this? I mean, honestly, look deep down in your heart. Now, most of the people that are watching me, they've already converted to Joe Jorgensen. In fact, I would be willing to bet that about 60% of my friends list have converted from Trump to Jorgensen. Safe bet. Safe bet. Conservative bet. I had one friend that, would prefer that we stop dissing Trump. Be nicer. Oh God! Really? What's funny? These are the same guys that are like, yeah, let's put pedos in the wood chipper. I'm like, well, I prefer guillotine, but wood chipper will work, I guess. But these are the people that are like, let's put them in the wood chipper, and insinuating that Joe Biden would get it. But then when scrutinized just a little for your boy Trump, it's denial. So listen, we're just going to call it what it is. It's called pro-pedophile. Pro-pedo. Very simple language to use. I tested it out on many people. Tested it on a Republican who got pissed off. Tested it on a Democrat who got pissed off. So if you're on my friends list and you're voting for Joe Biden or you're voting for Donald Trump and I call you pro-pedophile, I mean, just you're the one identifying as a Trump voter. You're the one identifying as a Biden supporter. Well, CJ, Donald Trump likes older women with voluptuous bodies and big round booties. And, I've heard this before. I'm just saying, we as Americans need to be smarter. We know there's October surprises. We know there's November surprises. We know these things. Why do we care? Why do we continue to do it? I don't get it. The Republican and Democrat parties need to die. They have destroyed this country. You're not going to be able to go and say, will you stop being the way you are? Because they're in on it together. They've built this machine together. Them arguing with each other is designed to distract you. It's designed that way. They are shaking hands behind the scenes and they are doing crazy stuff. I know, it looks depressing, huh? It's a sad world that we live in. I've got two guests this morning that would like to join today's broadcast. We'll start first with the one that was here first, Mr. Mike Gilligan. Good morning, sir. And then joining us, the Mercedes from Nebraska. Good morning, you guys.
Hello.
Good morning.
Oh, shoot. I can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Uh-oh. Now you guys are taking over my show.
Uh-oh. He can't hear either of us?
Hold on. I'll solve this problem real quick on my end.
Can you hear me, Michael?
Man. Oh, no.
Do you walk to work or bring your lunch?
No. Well, Mercedes, just talk freely. I mean,
well, can you
hear
me, though? You can hear me?
That's how this one's going to go.
Can anybody hear me?
I can't hear any of you guys. I could hear... No, okay. I can't hear. It's not... I don't know if it's you guys or not. Okay. Speakers.
Michael, can you hear me?
Let's see if it's on my end. At some point, I'm hoping to hear you guys. Oh, there we go. How about now?
I have sound.
I can hear you guys now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Gilligan, Mercedes. How you guys doing today?
Good.
I'm good.
Mike, we'll let you take the floor first since you clicked the link first. What do you got for us today, sir?
It's a nice day in New York. I've been listening to what you've been saying, and I don't know. I'm a libertarian thinker, and I really don't identify with Democrat or Republican anymore. I believe they're part of the swamp. Yeah, hold on. I got to decline this. And this whole pedophilia thing, I mean, until I see evidence and proof, I know it's a talking point. I know the Epstein thing brought everything out. I'm a former policeman, and I've been under investigation. I know what it's like to be accused of stuff, and and then when you get accused and people start to develop opinions, and then it comes out later that you're vindicated because the evidence shows that there's nothing you did wrong. It's kind of too late because public opinion has already been established against you. And they'll go along with, well, more unlikely he is. So that's that's what happened. That's probably what he did.
As I alluded to earlier, Mike, we call that preponderance of evidence. We call that, the he said, she said.
That preponderance of evidence is garbage. It's got to be, the higher standard, and otherwise, I wouldn't accept it. And I do support Donald Trump. And I'm going to tell you why, because I don't know too much about the candidate you're talking about that I'm just started researching today, Jo Jorgensen, and I really don't know what she's about. But I could tell you the reasons why I voted for Donald Trump last time, and it was because, number one, he wasn't a lawyer or a member of the Bar Association of any type, and he wasn't a career politician. And I didn't care about the statesmanship crap because it's gotten us enough.
Now, Mike, do you think that has more to do with the talking points from the Republican side of things, that these were carefully crafted talking points to say, hey, Trump is an outsider, when really, in all honesty, the dude's been paying politicians for a long time. I mean, the dude has been in this stuff for a while, and he's cashing in on those IOUs. Like, I didn't write your big
absolutely, because that's what they created. That's what our system created.
So he wasn't really
around it. I'm from New York. I worked in New York City. This is what they created. I could tell you, the police, the New York City Police Benevolent Association, retiree. I saw that what he did with them, and I kind of chuckled and laughed. You know what I mean? Because I know that all those guys on the board, and I know some of them personally, they're all they're all in it for certain reasons. They're all getting favors. This is the way it is. It's the way it always has been. You're not going to get away from that. And, you know, but the bottom line is that you're not going to get a pure candidate, even in Joe Jorgensen, I don't think. You know, and the bottom line is that you have to realize that behind the scenes, and this is what I think the evil of everything is, has to do with lawyers.
I'm still listening.
Career politicians, and the like, and the graft that's associated with it. And you know, it's a very, very sick. It's a very, very sick thing. You know what I mean? I remember I was a PBA delegate for about 4 years in the late '90s, early 2000s, and I was on the outs of the borough that I was in, and I could tell you, and there's only one reason why I was on the outs, and you want to know what that was? I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. I'm sober almost 40 years, and I wouldn't go to the bar with them because I didn't want to be in that environment.
Amen.
I needed to protect me, and that wasn't really understood. That culture still exists.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. Have a few brewskis, and you know, agree with us. And hey, you know,
hey, after parties over here after we've been drinking for a few hours. Yeah, I hear you.
I was on a different level, and I didn't fit in. And,
all right. I mean, and and as a result, you know, you separate yourself from certain groups, certain decisions they make. You distinguish yourself as not somebody that's going to be on that inside baseball of their you know, their social circle.
Yeah, I mean, that's past though. You know what I mean?
Right. So what do you have to say to that, Mercedes? I mean, do you agree with Mike that we're not going to get the same thing out of, or we're going to get the same thing out of Joe Jorgensen when it comes to, I mean,
the same thing? No, something that is human out of her that we aren't gonna exactly enjoy, probably because she's human. But we have to remember that she's been working on her mental health a whole of a lot longer than any other presidential candidate right now.
Yeah, and being Mental Health Monday, that's kind of my thought is that, you know, she okay. So again, it sounds cult-like when we start to refer to her, you know, in a way that's almost worship worthy. But again, I'm not trying to worship at the Church of Mama Joe this morning. I'm just trying to point out that what we know. I mean, I've met the woman. I've talked to her. I've talked with her campaign. She's very transparent when it comes to what she's doing. Could there be some sinister plot? I don't know. I mean, if she actually sat in the Oval Office as president, would she, you know, do what she says she's going to do? I would hope so. But, you know, I think that comes to this party, Mike. You say you're libertarian thinking, like, and so well, we call that.
I'm actually a registered libertarian.
Okay, so you have the L next to your name, so we'll give you that. You're a libertarian. And so but there is a sect, and I do want to emphasize this. There is a sect of libertarianism that has libertarians for Trump. They exist. You could look up Walter Block. They fall with they don't think this is the candidate that's gonna, you know, do it, so they go with the lesser of two evil vote, and that's the mentality. And we hear their argument. I hear it loud and clear, but that's not to say that I'm going to just support the lesser of two evil vote myself. I think that's, I'll do it. I'll take what they say for the best. If you live in a state like New York, where your vote, that state's going to go blue no matter what. You live in a state like South Dakota, that state's going to go red no matter what. Nebraska, red no matter what. Vote for the libertarian in that state where that vote is going to go blue. If you're against the Democrat Party, vote Libertarian, don't vote Republican. You're going to show a growth in our party versus, just giving one to, that's the only wasted vote in my opinion. Is if you really think about it. 64 million people wasted their vote on Hillary Clinton. If 64 million people would have just voted for Joe Jorgensen instead of Hillary Clinton, it would be undeniable. If, you know, so I mean,
she's got to get on the platform and she's got to get on the stage with them, and we got to hear her point of views. And,
well,
and I don't really see it. And believe me, I'm not. If there was somebody that was viable that was on the TV right now going against Trump and Biden that I liked what they were saying, I would probably support them and vote for them. But I don't see that. Well, they're only giving us 2 choices. You know what I mean?
They're actually giving us 4 choices.
It's and what? The 4th choice is no vote.
No, Green Party.
Yeah, there are 4 presidential candidates this year, and because because if we started talking about this in our lives about Joe Jorgensen and people tell us, well, I'm going to vote for X or Y because that's all we have. But that's not. And if we feed into that, we're enabling that storyline, and we need to disrupt the vote.
Yes.
Fair enough, but you're dealing right now in a time in our history, present day, that's really good versus evil. And that's my concern for my children and for my grandchildren. We got good versus evil, and there's and it's kind of like gray because you could say both parties, and I could tell you that the Democrat Republicans, it's all the swamp. They're all the same. Democrat Republicans, what I want to call them, they're part of the swamp. The biggest thing with Donald Trump, and I don't think that he would have been a Republican, but that was the party that was more like what he was thinking. Because I don't believe he's, I don't know what he is really, but
Trump is a Democrat. He's been a Democrat his whole life.
He likes taking guns first and then going to court to get the due process.
Take the guns first, then due process.
How do he said this?
He said that, yes.
Mike,
when did he say
for real. Like he really said that.
When did he say this?
Hold on,
Twitter.
Hold on. No. Hold on. Wait. I get to do the honors this morning.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so
you can have it.
I like taking. Oh, hold on. My speaker. Oh, wait, hang on. To work. I like taking the guns first and then going to court to get. Oh, wait, dang it. Okay, I like taking the guns first.
Early.
Who said that? No.
Early, but yeah. Oh, I can't hear CJ.
You spoke about it, Mr. President. Gun violence restraining orders. They're called. California actually has a version of this, and I think in your meeting with governors earlier this week, individually and as a group, we spoke about states taking steps. But the focus is to literally give families and give local law enforcement additional tools if an individual is reported to be a potential danger to themselves or others. Allow due process, so no one's rights are trampled, but the ability to go to court, obtain an order, and then collect not only the firearms, but any weapons in the possession
or
of that
might
individual.
Take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system. Because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. He had a lot of firearms. They saw everything. To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process.
Okay, but what context are you talking about?
Red flag laws.
Red flag laws.
Listen, let's listen. I'm a cop.
I know.
That's why we want your opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen, I dealt with this all the time. We're talking about. They're talking about families. They're talking about domestic violence. They're talking about restraining orders. I'm the victim of a restraining order. All right? I didn't have any guns. They tried to say I did. I personally gave them up when I left the job because I had problems with the ex-wife. And I knew it. And I knew in New York State it's a liability. But let's get this straight. That's the way it's going to be, no matter what. Doesn't matter who it is. Even if it's Joe Jorgensen, that's the way it's going to be. They're going to come when somebody comes before a hack in the court, and they complain, oh, I'm so scared. Oh my God, this guy's going to kill me. And it's totally bogus or half-truths. And they come into his house, and they serve him with papers, and then they take his firearms. That's the way it is, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but that, Mike, no. Okay, listen. But that's what I'm saying. You said they came with papers. They said which I'm assuming would be the order.
Based on statements. And usually based on statements that's not even sworn.
But it doesn't matter because that is part of due process. So you are, they're not just somebody calling 911. Hey, Sadie is being a little crazy right now, and she has like 18 guns inside of her house, and I need you to go make sure.
You can't come into somebody's house.
But
on a 911
if they think that I'm at risk to myself or my society because of mental health regulations and how they police mental health, they have every right. If my mother calls 911 and goes, hey, she's a danger, she's got guns, you need to go get them, they will surround my house, barricade me in, flash bomb me,
and including killing
me and my family because somebody swatted me. That's still due process. In due process, though.
Well, what would you expect? Give me the alternative.
Well, the alternative is Trump's alternative. I like taking the guns first.
The alternative?
No. I want to know your alternative to it. I don't want to hear about a politician's alternative. I want to know what your solution and alternative.
My solution. So this one time, my father-in-law took off with his guns out into the country, and his wife called the cops to go get him because she was going to kill himself. So they went out and they got him, and they took all of his guns, every single one, put him in a mental health holding facility for 48 hours.
Right.
Discharged him. Made him wait 30 days. Just discharged him, made him wait 30 days, gave him his guns back. Oh, wait. Then he killed himself. Now, if he had treatment between incident A and incident B, and he actually had a therapist that listened to him, and they actually looked at the guns weren't the problem. That's what I'm saying. But they're criminalizing mental health. So what Donald Trump is doing is using the system to criminalize people just because they have guns. And the way that they're forming
I don't think that's what he's doing.
All right, so what is he doing, Mike? Because, I mean, again, that's a bold statement to say, I like taking the guns first and then go to court to get the due process.
But he's going to be basing it on sworn statements from complainants. And that is the way the system is set up, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change the system. Right. And until people help us change the system,
there is no guaranteed right to protection or safety anywhere, folks. Let's get this out in the open right away.
I agree with that.
My Second Amendment right guarantees that I always have adequate safety measures for myself and my family, so I don't have to call the cops. The only reason why I'm going to call the cops is because they're picking up a body.
It could be a knife, a club, a chain.
That's what
I mean. Whatever you want.
People still have mass stabbings in UK, and they banned guns, so guns aren't the issue. It's mental health.
Listen, there's more stabbings in New York City and across this country than in any place in the world. Any place in the world. We are the most violent culture that you can imagine.
It's almost like it's a mental health problem.
It's always going to be.
And how do we fix that? Is it electing a pedophile, or is it electing a psychologist?
That's because attorneys and lawyers, psychologists, members of the bar, the judges, they all work together to create the system to do two things: control you and separate you from your property. That's always what it's been about.
Wrong.
I know he's not wrong, but that's what we're here for. And it's always what
it's been about. And the only way that we Americans are going to get away with this is when we start to voice our, I hate to say it like this, but to voice our voices in a courtroom, just like BLM, and tell them, fuck you, I ain't doing this no more.
Well, we're going to hold you in contempt, Mr. Gilligan. Enjoy your 30 days. We'll see you
good. Well, I have a writ of habeas corpus in my pocket.
Denied.
Wait a minute.
Who do I give it to?
Hold on.
Nobody.
You guys are telling me
the cause of action that you have against me. Who did I harm, injure, or cause a loss to that you have to throw me in jail?
The state is claiming to be the victim, Mr. Gilligan.
So wait, if I make the
state
how
did I hurt the state? Please explain to me, how did I hurt the state?
That's the riddle, Mr. Gilligan. That is the riddle.
I did this in a courtroom. I told the judge personally I was going to come after people if my kids didn't come back from Florida. I was going to come after people.
You can't
And
say
that-
that in court.
I did.
But he did.
I did.
And he's sitting right here today.
I know,
I did.
but
And
what
I-
happened after that?
I'm going to show you. I'm going to say exactly how I said it. I said, and I told the judge straight out because they wanted me to get a lawyer. They accused me of not being sophisticated enough, and I had already beat an order of protection on my own. I already beat it on my own. I said, if my kids don't come back, I'm going to come after people. I paused, and I said, of course, lawfully. But they understood from my expression what I was talking about. That's what Americans have to do today in the courtroom. All right? Fuck this respect bullshit and this statesmanship crap, because it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I agree with you on that one.
The lawyers and the judges standing behind Donald Trump, who are creating policy and giving him bogus advice, they're the ones. They are the real evil culprits of our society, and nobody talks about them. They want to talk about the cops because it's easy to talk about them because they're on the front lines. But the guys behind the scenes, the real evildoers, are the ones that have ESQ attached to their name.
Esquire.
ESQ. I'm a lawyer. You think I'm a lawyer? Fuck you.
Wait a minute. Is that
Fuck
what
the
Esquire
lawyers,
means?
fuck the
Hey,
judges.
our state's attorney
You know
here
what?
in Eureka, South Dakota, has literally threatened people. He's got the Esquire next to his name, and he has threatened people to remove them from their property at all costs and measures that he can take.
And listen,
And yeah,
and this whole mental health issue thing, you're not going to get rid of. It's there. All
I
right.
know, that's why we have Mental Health
told them-
Mondays.
Listen, I'm a legit EDP, emotionally disturbed person, because of this topic.
Yeah. I'd probably say I could
get
identify
very angry
identify
at it,
myself.
and everybody says, "Well, he's got a problem."
No.
The
No,
bottom line
that's-
is that, you know what the other real problem is? The ignorance of everybody in this country. They don't know their rights. They don't know how to assert them. They have to go out and hire somebody else to assert it for them, who are going to undermine them in every aspect of everything that they do.
Because they
Correct.
want
And
money.
the bottom line is that, you know, even with everything, we don't know nothing. I got into this thing yesterday about taxes with a guy from a closed group in a cop group, and he deleted the post because I threw at him information that he couldn't refute.
Oh, bless your heart, Mike.
I love
That's
those.
Yeah, those are the
He
best.
couldn't refute. You know what
Delete
I
the
mean?
whole post. Throw it all away.
The bottom line is that, you know, listen, people have to start opening their minds. They have to start reading. They have to start knowing what their rights are. They have to know what to say when they go into court. And there ain't nobody teaching us this in the schools. There ain't nobody teaching us this in the family anymore. You know, it's divide and conquer. The family courts have been used to divide and conquer the family, and they've done it enough that they could get away with this corona shit.
Yeah.
And the scamdemic and the whole fucking, you know, everybody's so paranoid about everything. And it's causing friction in the supermarkets, out in the parking lots, road raging.
I bet you would hate to be a cop today, huh, Mike?
Dude, let me tell you something. You have no idea what I've had to do in my life in the late 80s, early 90s as a young policeman. You want to talk about the shooting?
In New York?
And, you know what I mean? I've seen it all.
Oh, that was like that was bad.
The bottom line is that these people kill each other. Like this whole Black Lives Matter in the urban in city communities and stuff like that. There's like this weekend it was like 50 shootings in New York City. It's going back. It comes back full circle, and they're killing each other. They're not killing. And you want to know what I say? Let them kill each other. I don't give a shit. Let them kill each other.
But the worst part about this, though, is that it's all state-sponsored violence. This is state-sponsored violence. We are doing their job for them. We're not listening. They're telling us what we need to do in order to get through this. We're just, they're not, but they are. But they're not, but they are, but they're not. Because they don't want us to come out of this. They do not want us to recover from COVID. They don't want us to have a new president. They don't want us to be free in our own country. We are at the end game right now where where
and
our mental
separate
health.
you from your property. That's all
Gen
they
X-
wanna do.
Gen X was the first tester of all of this. Why do you think Gen X's suicide rate is so incredibly high? They
What's
have
that?
people who
Who's Gen X?
1968, no, 1966 to 1974, I believe.
60s
They're-
to early 80s.
Okay,
Mid-
so I'm way
to
off.
early
I
80s.
did the middle window then. So
You're-
in Gen
you're-
X has one of the highest suicide rates ever. And if you look at their generation, you have the ones that are in pop culture and mainstream media and very like, yeah, consumerism. And then you have the other ones that are just the grungy hippies, like the government is killing us, we need to get out of here, like Kurt Cobain. And so their suicide rate is ginormous because they saw what was coming. They saw it. And so now we're here with the Zoomers who don't even have skills to live in our world. And me being a millennial, even in my generation, we have the older millennials. Spike Cohen is an older millennial who is well formed and put together. And then you have
Elder millennial.
elder millennial. And then you have me, millennial, that I was born in 90, where I'm like in the middle of all of this shit, seeing all the Gen X dying and all the Zoomers and iGen just being completely undermined. Like I see that we are nothing but investments for the government. I see that the government in the 90s started taking children from their family and putting them in state-sponsored programs to make sure that they would come out and be normal like me.
Normal like you, Mercedes.
Normal.
Yeah,
But this is why I say normal like me. I regularly wake up to news articles of people I grew up with being in jail overnight from drug crimes, mental health problems. They're using drugs and mental health to criminalize my generation to continue the for-profit prison systems. So until everybody that has a voice, like you, me, and CJ, get together and say, hey, we need to change the system, and this is how we do it.
Okay, wait. First, let's start like this. Raise your hand if you think we need to change the current government system. Do we have it? Look at that. It's unanimous. So now that we agree there's a problem, what are the solutions?
We don't keep feeding into the two-party system, and if we do, we need to take, this year is the most important year to focus on your state and local levels. If you have a libertarian running for office in your state at a local level, vote for them. Because I guarantee you, they're not the ones that are going to keep trying to take your guns and criminalize your life.
Yeah, I think it's individual liberty, individual, just like what our forefathers set forth for us. You know what I mean? It's all about us. It's all about the individual liberty, my right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And when the government...
knowing what my rights are, asserting my rights, not having any government infringe on my rights, limit the powers of the government, even though we will still have to have some form of rule. You know what I mean? Do no harm to others.
How about don't hurt people and don't take their stuff?
And don't take their stuff.
Yep.
The bottom line is that you know, we live under political law.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. We don't live under what they otherwise would have been scientific or common law anymore. It's all political law. Do as I say or else.
Or we will use force of government against you to compliance or death. One of the
two. They dumb down the American society, the American individual, because they don't know what their basic rights are. They don't know that they have rights given to us by the Almighty. Mm-hmm. You know, and that our Constitution in writing supported that idea. And it's just not the Bill of Rights. It goes way beyond that. The bottom line is that, you know, we're in a quagmire of evil right now. But people want to control other people and to make profit off us, to take our money through taxes and all this crap. And until we change the educational system, which is totally a mess, they don't teach our kids history anymore.
God.
They don't teach us the Constitution. They don't even teach them how to balance a checkbook.
What?
No.
They don't teach them how to balance a checkbook.
Okay,
in fact, they're about to take away the analog clock.
I saw that. See, I guess I just can't relate to those school problems because our school district doesn't really. I mean, there are problems, but that's not them. But we're rural. We're not urban. We have a different set of skills that we're taught because we don't have cities in order that we can just spend our money in. We have to actually be self-sufficient.
Well, you guys, I think that we could have this talk about how to make a free country all day long, every day. But unfortunately, I do have to get going here. So I'm going to give Mike, you got your last word here, sir, and then I'll get to Mercedes and we'll call it a day for today. But Mike, you've got the floor, sir.
I appreciate the opportunity to just come on and share with you. That's all.
Oh,
and, that's all. Hopefully you can do it again.
Absolutely, Mike. You know you're always welcome, and
I enjoy you immensely. I like watching you when you're talking to CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike keeps me in the straight and narrow for sure.
He's the reason why I first clicked on your show, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You
are, Mike.
No.
Well, my uncle was a cop, and so I like your point of view quite a bit.
So I can blame Mike officially for Mercedes taking over my show.
You can.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yep, no problem. Anytime, Mike. Always good to see you. Mercedes, last word goes to you.
Oh, thanks. Go ahead and go to votemercedes.com. I'm running for Nebraska State Legislature District 37 here in Nebraska. Hey, it's me. We have how many days? 70 days, 14 hours, 51 minutes, and 25 seconds. Also, vote for CJ Abernathy, South Dakota Senate, seat 23, Eureka. Yeah. And remember to have a good day or don't. The choice is always yours.